Good afternoon, everybody. So this is GEO385, Agriculture and Environment. This is the topic for today's lesson, Management of Invasive Plant Species in British Columbia with Climate Change. So first, I would like to explain you to my learning objective. You can see this slide. First objective is to gain knowledge about the economic impact of invasive plant species, then understand the nature and magnitude of economic damages. Then the third one is understand role of government in invasive plant management in British Columbia. These are the learning objectives. So then, do you know about invasive plant species? Did you hear before about invasive plant species? No. Invasive plant species means the plant which is unnecessary. It make damages to the environment like agriculture, maybe recreation. There are a lot of plants in my first slide, right? So these are the two kind of plants common in rangelands in British Columbia. This one is called yellow star thistle. The other one is called houndstone. There are a lot of invasive plants in British Columbia in rangeland, also then aquatic lands. So,
but the left one is nice ones. You're gonna get rid of that.
So then this is the content of my lecture today. First, I am going to do pre-assessment. Then I explain economic damages from invasive plant species. Then try to link invasive plant species with the climate change and economic damages. Then talk about management of invasive plant. Remember, at the end of the lesson, I just asked you questions about to get the understanding about your knowledge on the subject. So then I provide summary and conclusion. Okay, then the pre-assessment. So, do you know what kind of economic damages invasive plant create to the economy? Like economic damages means in the sense like I explain you it make damages to the agriculture. Maybe suppose in agricultural land there are invasive plants, so it compete with agricultural plants, so it leads to reduce agricultural productivity. So reduction in agricultural productivity is economic damage. Maybe some areas, some recreation site, there are invasive plants, so then it reduces the recreation ability in that land. So it also avoid tourists come to that area. So that is also the decrease in recreation. So that is also economic damage. So these are the economic damages. Then invasive plants are in rangeland, also aquatic lands in British Columbia. It created huge damage to the British Columbia economy. I will explain it. Okay. Then do you have any question? Any question regarding this explanation? Please feel free to ask. So economic damages, then the reduction in crop yield. Then there are market damages like reduction in crop damages. Then the non-market damages, reduction in biodiversity, like it make damages to the ecosystem services like water tables, nitrogen deposition, soil fertility, like that. So it says that since it create damages on environment, some people identified invasive plant as the invisible tax. According to some studies, for the agriculture, it created annual damage $170 million. For the forestry, it created $9.6 billion. There are some uncertainty and doubt about these figures. So anyway, according to the existing studies, these are the damages calculated by previous researchers. Then impact of climate change. As a result of climate change, what is climate change? Climate change means basically changes in temperature and precipitation. Then changes in temperature and precipitation leads to other kind of changes in the atmosphere, right? So like change in soil fertility, change in water tables, change in nitrogen deposition in the soil. So these things influence on growth of invasive plants. Sometimes it created favorable conditions for spreading invasive plant species in rangeland and aquatic lands. Therefore, climate change have positive impact. Most of the time, favorable impact of spread of distribution of invasive plant species. Then I am talking about the management of invasive plant. Now I talked about nature of economic damages created by invasive plant. I show the link between climate change and distribution of invasive plant species. Now I am going to talk so you can understand what do you think about whether it is good thing or bad things in the economic sense. It's a bad thing because it creates damage to the economy. So we have to manage it. So what is the very important thing in these damages?
The crops, like the
yeah, it creates damages to the economy. And some damages are marketable, some damages are non-marketable. You can see its effect on ecosystem and biodiversity and so on. So this means these damages are not private, like damage to the biodiversity ecosystem. So private ranchers or private farmers, private landowners have no incentive to control these damages because they are social damage. So since these damages are social benefits, there is a role for government to control invasive plant species because private landowners are not interested in controlling invasive plant species. Then, okay, my post assessment. So what do you mean by climate change?
just the environment changing.
Increase in temperature.
Yeah, one thing is increase in temperature,
Increase in invasive plants.
increase in precipitation.
Right.
Yeah, both long-term change, increase in temperature and precipitation. Normally, scientists take 10 years time period when they assess climate change. So what is the nature of the economic impact of biological invasion due to climate change? What is the nature of the economic impact? Like I just
It'll get worse and worse and worse.
yeah, one thing is they are negative. The other thing is some economic impacts are marketable. We can give easily monetary values. For other things, we cannot give monetary values. They are non-market. Then what should government intervene to the management of invasive plant?
Because the private sector doesn't want to do it
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Private sector doesn't want to. Does not have incentives for managing invasive plant species. Okay, then I am going to provide the summary. Climate change may increase infested land area by invasive plant species. There is a huge economic losses. It relates with both market and non-market aspect. Also, it creates damages to the productive sectors like agriculture, ranching, international trade and so on. Then therefore, since these benefits, most of these benefits are non-marketable, there is a role for government to intervene to the market, intervene to control invasive plant species. Okay, this is the lesson for today. So you can ask any question, please feel
How
free.
much, comparing to the preventing the damages, how much is it going to cost for the government to eliminate foreign invasive.
Yeah, and,
invasive plants.
Government have different kind of control program in relation to different kind of plants. I don't have the exact figures in my mind, so you can refer to the invasive plant website and you can get the idea. Maybe next time I can provide these figures if you are interested.